Some of you may know him as Dennis the Menace, but basketball fans know him as Dennis Rodman, who played 14 seasons for 5 teams. He last played for the Dallas Mavericks in 2000, and we're going to take a deep dive into his lifestyle, including his family, net worth, cars, and houses. Rodman resides just outside of Detroit in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. The property features 5 bedrooms with 3.5 baths, approximately 6,600 square feet of space. The lovely Michigan home features views of the lake, a pool, outside patio, home gym, tennis court, and more. Additionally, the home offers a half-finished basement, 3 parking places, as well as a fireplace, and is worth around $2.3 million. Although being a star in the 80s and 90s, they didn't pay players the amounts that they're earning today, but that didn't stop Rodman from establishing his own collection of automobiles that are a perfect picture of the type of guy he truly is. Rodman has a Lamborghini Huracan and Gallardo, a Bentley Continental Black, a Ford Mustang convertible, and a custom-painted Hummer H1. These rides pop out just like his distinctive hairdo. If there's one thing definite about Rodman's largely unprecedented and naturally material personality, it's that he's unafraid of going outside of the box and expressing himself openly in front of any audience. The early 90s began with a significant adjustment for Rodman. According to his book, Rodman for Better or Worse, he started falling out of line with playing the game and even said he had depression, which was mostly because he found the business side of being a professional athlete taxing, and that he's found his family ties had distance since he entered the league. Then there was the infamous episode in the Pistons parking lot. Rodman was having suicidal thoughts and locked himself in the car with a shotgun. He ended up falling asleep with a gun in his lap, and when he woke up, there were police cars around his vehicle with rifles drawn. He would later be traded to the Spurs, and in San Antonio, he started going to gay and drag clubs. He was connected to the LGBTQ community, and it made him feel more free and full. And that's when Rodman's character slowly, but definitely, began its metamorphosis to being more like what he is today and how we remember him in the NBA. He established his own trend of intriguing hairstyles with his blonde hair, then green, then red, even hair with an assortment of hues and oddly performed styles. It worked for him, and it won him a new reputation, which allowed him to extend his career and make the most out of it in the late seasons in the NBA. And he did exactly that when he landed in Chicago and on time for what was an ongoing Bulls dynasty. Rodman became the unlikeliest of diplomats probably in the history of the world when he befriended North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Dennis had made many trips to the country, and the two have bonded over basketball. He was part of some exhibition games and even sang happy birthday to the leader in front of a crowded house. He even joined then President Trump in a historic Singapore summit when the two leaders met to address political matters. There was an American Christian missionary prisoner named Kenneth Bay who was accused of trying to cross the border and condemned to 15 years of hard labor in North Korea. Dennis openly asked for his freedom, and it was eventually granted. Rodman considers Kim Jong-un a buddy and believes that he trusts him. Amazing to believe that Dennis Crazy Guy Rodman has helped calm tensions between the US and North Korea. For this, he probably deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. My dad doesn't play a big role in my life at all, and most people don't know that. We don't see eye to eye on many things. I go for months, if not years, without his presence or communication. Being in the spotlight has made it hard for us, for him, and me. Those are the words of Rodman's youngest daughter, Trinity, who perhaps isn't too interested in the huge aura that surrounds her dad's lifestyle. Rodman's son DJ, along with Trinity, are the oldest kids that he had with Michelle Moyer, who have since divorced. Rodman's oldest, Alexis, was born in the 80s to Rodman and his first wife, Annie Bakes. Their relationship only lasted a year before his first divorce. Then Rodman was with Carmen Electra towards the late 90s, and then Moyer, who he was with for 9 years before a third divorce. He had a seemingly spurious but almost legitimate relationship with Madonna for a short period, which he described as this: "I think Madonna saw me as a kid in a candy store. I was trying to find my way, but she had already done it. She saw this young kid. I was like maybe 30, 31. I was just coming out of the box. I was coming out of the shell, and I was coming out of the closet pretty much. I think she saw a guy like, wow, he's somewhat attractive. has a nice body, and besides all this, I think she saw me coming out and being free, and I think that was more attractive to her than anything else. Then of course, there was that one time that Dennis actually claimed to have married himself. He was doing a book tour, came out as bisexual, and even wore an unforgettable custom bridal gown. With everything going on in his life, Dennis Rodman has a net worth of $500,000. He made around $30 million throughout his NBA career, and as an A-list star and author of 5 books over the past 30 years, including his title Bad As I Wanna Be, which was a featured New York Times bestseller. He was a part of Hulk Hogan's New World Order and won the inaugural Celebrity Championship Wrestling tournament in his short stint as a pro wrestler. And that's not to mention his role in a handful of movies and even trying to become a rapper. He's featured in Celebrity Big Brother, The Celebrity Apprentice, Love Island, and even ABC's Celebrity Mole, where he actually came out on top as the winner. He's a rapper, a movie star, a reality celebrity, a best-selling author, and a whole lot more. And then he went from all of that to not much of anything when rumors came out indicating that he was going through financial troubles in the early 20s, and especially when he was slapped with a child support case of $800,000. But when The Last Dance documentary premiered in 2020, not only did we get a deeper look at his party lifestyle and his behaviors off the court, we also now know that the globally seen documentary series helped recover some of his financial status. While Rodman has always been an infamous and pretty wild person in the public eye, things only grew stranger the more he spoke on politics. While he became controversial for his ardent support of Donald Trump, things became even odder when he embraced Kanye West. Not content with merely endorsing Kanye, Rodman actually ran an ad in support of him. It is weird at first, but when most people consider how shocking both men can be in the public spotlight, it's nearly the perfect combo of infamous characters. For some admirers, the crazy assertions that Rodman has made over the years have cast doubt on his veracity. However, it is possible that Rodman has only lived one fascinating life. His claim that he is one of nearly 40 children is only one of the many peculiar assertions he's made. Few would have guessed he had hundreds of siblings. Famous tales are made about 2 of his sisters in particular, who are often viewed as the prodigal children of the family. Whether or not it's true, the story is this kind of offbeat information about Rodman that could be accurate. Dennis Keith Rodman was born in Trenton, New Jersey, when Shirley and Philander Rodman welcomed a bouncing baby boy on May 31st, 1961. When he was young, his father abandoned the family and moved to the Philippines. Dennis would not see him again until more than 30 years later. He has 2 sisters, Deborah and Kim, who are All-American basketball players as well. Rodman was dubbed the Worm by his mom, who stated he would move a lot when he was playing pinball. Though there were always a large quantity of extracurriculars, even during Rodman's career, he still made his mark on the game as one of the finest interior defenders in NBA history and legendary for rebounding and blocking shots. Dennis is a 7-time All-Defensive First Team pick, a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He owns 5 championship rings, 2 with the Pistons and 3 with the Chicago Bulls. Even beyond his Hall of Fame credentials on the basketball court, Dennis Rodman's outsized lifestyle and persona still make him one of the most controversial symbols on the entire planet. He went from being Michael Jordan's arch nemesis to being his teammate in the final part of his career. It's almost like fame and controversy. Were you aware of Dennis Rodman's extravagant lifestyle when he was playing? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching.